Hello again everyone and welcome back to The Witcher 3. We are back here in the Belgard Vineyard and we need... I'm going to go to the Metana Gate marker and fast travel up to the back up to the Coronata Vineyard so I can just tidy off this this treasure hunt. And after that we shall probably go on some important questing, potentially the main quest actually, since that is the one that next matches up with our sort of level our level status, because I'm pretty sure Regis has been waiting for us at the graveyard for about a month. So he's probably getting somewhat restless, although considering he was dead at one point, he's probably quite happy about it. You know, it's probably like a lot less a pain overall. Either way, let's go and uncover this stash, shall we? At least we're passing time here as well to get to the so we're a bit closer to being able to play in the Gwent tournament and to get whatever this reward is from Liam and Matilda. Right, where's this manure pile? Oh, lovely. Unsent Vineyard Worker's Letter. Dearest Mumsy, thank you for the overcoat you sent. It shall surely come in handy. I am healthy and in full strength, never worry. We've awful troubles at the manor. Our count's taken ill with a pained soul. Some dratted witcher came into his woods and butchered his pet. This pet was no hound or even a hind, but get this, a basilisk. So it should not have come as a great surprise a witcher did it in, though it was odd he had help from some reavers they were called. The cat walks around head hung, crying all the while, and everyone at the manor is in a sort of mourning. I know you'll say who's ever heard of mourning a monster, but the thing is, a man in pain's a man in pain. It hurts the heart to watch, whatever his reason, and I hope he gets it together soon, for no one's looking after the estate's affairs. I send you warm embraces and hope you remember if things ever get bad where you're at, just come join me. I've already arranged a position for you with Countess Alvarez, and a nice one too. Indoors, he's a good man and even honest for a count and an eccentric. I hope he shakes off these doldrums and will keep his word if it comes to it. Big kisses, you're ready. Unfortunately, that didn't come to materialise, obviously. Right, where's this goddamn massive manure pile? As disgusting as that statement sounds. It's around here somewhere. Ah, here we go.
That stench.
Lovely. Nice. Right, so I think... yeah, we're gonna go to do La Cage aux Faux. So, let's just recap our status on the main quest so far. So the Beast and Geralt's clash had been violent, albeit brief. Now with it done, Geralt could have a chat with his long-lost friend Regis. A higher vampire, Regis revealed that the creature terrorizing Beauclair was none other than his dear friend Detlef. Geralt now understood he was pursuing a truly dangerous foe, a higher vampire, one of Regis's ilk. Then the Witcher and the vampire heard a clamour, a posse was drawing near, so Geralt and Regis cut their conversation short. Preferring not to draw any attention, the vampire disappeared, but not before inviting the Witcher to pay him a visit at temporary quarters he'd established at the local cemetery. You had better believe it, Mayor Lachaire's long. So we know that at one point in the past, Regis had apparently been killed by something. I'm not sure what. I can't remember. But he was essentially melted. Was poor Regis, and seemingly he was gone forever. But Detlef, the man who has been terrorizing Beauclair, seemingly managed to bring Regis back to life, which is why Regis seems to be almost protective of Detlef and what he's doing, and he says that Detlef would never kill as sort of rampantly as it currently has been without good reason. Now we know he's been killing knights errant who have forsaken certain virtues. And I believe there's one virtue that was left that hadn't been sort of linked as of yet, but I can't remember which one it was. Because one of the knights errant that Geralt was brought here by, he was one of the most recent casualties. I forget his name, unfortunately, but Yeah. So, finally, let's go and speak to Regis.
Give me no choice.
This is not the best introduction to the Male Shades Long Cemetery, I'm not gonna lie. But, yeah. I think it was just the one, though, thankfully. Let me just check out that marker. Right, at Bellegarde Vineyard, a famous act of poisoning once occurred which took the lives of a large gang of bandits who were ransacking the area. The folk charged with cleaning up in the aftermath originally planned to burn the bodies, but one pious soul thought even rotten dung diddlers such as they deserved better. He thus paid for the bodies to be laid to rest in a small cemetery male shares long. Later, Sir Ramon of Gichon died a martyr's death here while trying to get rid of the bandits constantly returning wraiths. Really? So they gave the bandits a cemetery and fucking and yet this lad wraiths consistently returning. Athlete extraordinaire, like to carry great weights, but got a little carried away.
Regis. Couldn't have picked some other place to meet.
Nope. What's the pleasure in slaughtering a weakling? If you wish to draw blood, draw it from a king. A man of small stature and enormous spirit was a hearty and fiery dancer. Sadly, he forgot to eat and perished.
Let's dance.
Yeah, there was definitely no better place than we could have met than this place. Ducal intermediary, lover of Nilfgaardian spice biscuits. Heroic hunter of insects and pests, spent his whole life exterminating bugs, now realizing the earth among them. Virtuoso in every key. In truth, it was he who composed Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. This is wild. Right, I'm gonna stop reading these. Apart from this one. Loved accounting tables. That was the death of her. I don't even know. Hello?
Regis! Damn it. Locked. No way I got the place wrong. This is it. Gotta be another way in around here.
Yes, and that must be the entrance that's lying over here, correct? Random gold plate in the cemetery, as you do. Anything else in these gravestones? No, known as the Big Prince. Mistook Belhaven for Roggevin, warp time and space. Happens to us all. We do all occasionally just happen to warp time and space, don't we? Kikimores. You do not love to see it.
Kikimores. And victuals aplenty around.
Nice. Let's burn these eggs, shall we? After we actually kill the rest of them, of course. Holy shit, stop! Stop intoxicating me, please. I could definitely do without that. Burn all the eggs.
That's some stench.
I do not want another goddamn infestation down here. Alright, let's once again let's repair our beleaguered weapon. Go. Make sure we give this place a good once over. I mean,
Someone placed an illusion here.
Ooh, nice. Nothing the eye of Neheleni can't sort. Bits and pieces. Cassus Foederis. A Knight's Oath. Here rests Sir Raymond of Gichon. On my grave you will not find the likeness of the man who once lived. I gave my heart, soul, and body to the knightly craft, and I wish to be remembered as a knight. The symbol of chivalry is a naked sword, and that symbol rests above me. The sword that defended my honour, my friends, and my heart. The sword that was closer to me than a brother. The sword that was never stained by the blood of an innocent man. Let it rest on this stone through the ages. Well, I may have just stolen it, so aren't I a lovely person? Definitely seems to be a noble knight, but I've just kind of ruined his resting place. What a lovely person I am. Is Regis actually in here? Yep, there he is.
To meet a vampire at a cemetery. How much more cliché can you get?
Nothing comes readily to mind.
Could have left the door unlatched.
What of my privacy? I value it rather deeply. Unmolested, especially by unwanted guests, that's my preferred state. Besides, I knew you'd find a way to get in.
He always does.
Need to find your friend. I'm hoping you'll agree to help.
I shall do whatever's in my power. Yet what you want or even need must matter little. What matters is what Dettlaff wants. If he does not wish to be found, you will not find him. Ever. End of story.
Come on. Gotta be some way.
Vampires can evade detection by the senses, and no divination magic works on us. Even the most precise megascope would be useless.
And this? Could this help?
Wherever did you get that?
Off one of the beast's victims, found by a bend in the river.
Ah,
Body was
yeah, of
chopped
course, I
in
remember that.
pieces. 3 of those pieces were hands. Hand with the ring seemed the odd one out. Abruxa had taken an interest in it.
I remember that. The Bruxia we killed in our very own vineyard. He's reacting a bit weirdly to that hand, is he not?
It's Dettlaff's hand, without a doubt. It will do so.
Oh, so it is Dettlaff's hand, okay. What do you want to use the hand for?
The hand. What do you plan to do with it?
You've heard of Kovinaris' theory of tissue memory retention.
Rings a distant bell. Read about it in Alchemia Oblitera. There's a copy at Kaer Morhen, tattered, nearly disintegrated. But if memory serves,
Probably destroyed now, not
Kovinaris
gonna
never
lie.
managed to prove it worked.
He did prove it, just never managed to publish his findings. He and I corresponded, you see, after we became friends. Thus, I know he completed his research and performed the first tests. It's complicated, so without delving into details, it is possible to use any piece of tissue to reconstruct what a whole body experienced.
How's it work?
Okay.
Need any special equipment?
We must brew a decoction which Kovinaris gave a rather poetic name, resonance. Once imbibed, it sends one into a trance similar to that induced by narcotics. This triggers visions of events linked to strong emotions experienced by the tissue's owner. Picture it as dreaming a fragment of someone's life.
Any chance we might see what Dettlaff was doing just before he lost
That
his
seems to be
hand?
the indication.
Indeed. Though I also hope resonance will reveal the location of Dettlaff's hideout.
The ring, what's its provenance?
Ring's pretty intriguing. Made of no metal I've ever seen. And the ornamentation.
It comes from our home, where we lived before the conjunction of spheres. It's actually mine. I received it from a dear old friend. You might call him a humanist. He saw us vampires as guests here, guests who owe their hosts, meaning you humans and the elder races, respect.
Respect. Meaning not to treat us like cattle to be slaughtered for food.
Precisely. And the reason why I, in turn, gave it to Dettlaff. To remind him of the ideals my old friend championed.
Makes sense. Can you just summon Dettlaff?
Can't you just summon Dettlaff? You're both hired vampires. There's gotta be a way.
If I'm to be entirely candid, there is indeed one. But believe me, we will be better off never availing ourselves of it. It is a last resort.
Oh.
Absolutely.
Last resort? The hell? Why?
There is a being who can summon Dettlaff. Possesses the authority, even the power, to force him to appear in a given place. But the very act of contacting this being, well, it's akin to walking a slack line extended over a chasm filled with molten lava. An exercise as perilous to me as it would be to you. A risk I'm unwilling to take. I beg you.
That's an intriguing little thread, that, isn't it? I wonder if that will ever come up again. A mysterious individual can summon a higher vampire. Wonder who that is. Either way, let's just brew the decoction then.
Kovinaris spent half his life proving his theory. Wild guess. Making a dose of resonance won't be easy.
You guessed correctly. In addition to Detlef's tissue, we shall need a powerful occipital lobe stimulant. Effectively a poison, to make one susceptible to visions.
Well, got a few ingredients to choose from. Unfortunately, all are pretty rare. There's Mamoon glands, but closest ones I know of are in Vizima. A spotted white saliva would also serve, but they were culled to extinction over a century ago. Could go with a kobold's eyes, but the creatures are sentient. Rather not gouge one's eyes out.
Given that we lack the time to sleuth this out ourselves, permit me to summon some help.
Who's he summoning? Wonderful! That hand is still moving. Just what we need to see. Oh boy, that's gonna be weird. That's gonna come up again, you just know it is. What if Detlef is the one still controlling that hand?
What was that?
A raven? Rather a common sight at this latitude. Very intelligent fowl. I asked him to look for the creatures you mentioned. Him and his brethren. Perhaps they'll find one in the area, and I would hazard that a flock of ravens will spy any said creature faster than a solitary witcher would. With all due respect to your skills, my friend.
This is very true.
It will take them some time, nonetheless. So, perhaps you'd care for a snifter of mandrake.
Yeah, let's drink, why not?
Rarely say no to a snifter.
Sadly, this is but a weak infusion rather than a proper distillate.
Even better. I remember your mandrake hooch. Made people say things they'd have rather kept to themselves.
Now, what could Geralt of Rivia prefer to keep to himself?
This is set up trying to get me to confess something?
So, think you've set a nice little trap for me? Sorry. Want to get me to confess? Gonna have to try harder.
I love a challenge. In that case, my ears are cocked. What must I do?
How about you get the ball rolling? Reveal one of your secrets. Vampires, intriguing creatures, must lead fascinating lives.
Anything in particular interest you?
Where you been? What have you been doing?
Curious what you did after you were reborn.
As I'm sure you can surmise, at first I was thoroughly absorbed with recovering. As it is, I've still not recovered completely. Yet I was so weak the first year that I could not stand nor move on my own. Detlef bore my weakness bravely, showed great patience. If not for him, I wouldn't be here, and I'd have regenerated far slower. Once I could at last stand unassisted, I set off for Bruges, from my one-time home of Dillingen. There I led the peaceful life of a rural healer and surgeon, enjoying my neighbours' respect and, in fact, constituting the exact opposite of the monstrous vampire the populace imagines.
Bruges, you say? Rebirth make you sentimental?
Perhaps a dash. But what of you? Where have you been? Ever find your Cirilla?
Did indeed.
Back then, yeah. But we parted again soon after.
It's something at which we probably shouldn't delve into. What's it like being dead?
Gotta ask you the big question, one everyone wonders about. What happens after death?
You wish me to tell you if the human belief in the gods is well founded? Well, that I do not know. We vampires differ exceedingly from you humans. Our matter, that of which we are composed, can exist without form. We require neither a heart, nor a brain, nor air to breathe.
But were you dead?
As humans understand death, yes.
Feel anything? Understand anything?
It's rather hard to explain. I felt something very unsettling. Something I cannot even name, for I did no reasoning. Only after rebirth did I begin to understand that what I had felt was cold and unimaginable fear. If not for Detlef, I might have drowned in an eternity of icy terror.
Can't have been alive then. Sheesh. Experience like that must be vicious.
Telling me.
Indeed, it's hard to compare to anything I know. Yet you are aware we don't see death as you do. The way you cling to life, we find it entirely peculiar. You are mortals, ergo it's a foregone conclusion. You will die. It's but a question of time. Thus, I often find myself wondering why you try so very hard. To die at 20 years, 40, even 100, what's the difference? They're all but the blink of an eye.
Depends on your point of view. Man who's got 1,000,000 crowns to spend can't possibly understand one who's only got 20.
Very true. One's outlook can indeed change much.
How are you handling abstinence, not drinking blood? Yeah.
Got a new life, a new body. That give you a new start, blank slate.
Starting all anew is a very broad concept. What exactly do you mean?
Your blood addiction, say. Wondering if your body's the same, if it still remembers. Maybe if you drank now, you wouldn't get hooked.
All addictions are a form of slavery. Re-addiction's not a risk I'm willing to take, just to test a hypothesis about corporeal regeneration and whether propensities carry over.
Fair enough. Curiosity, that's all. Sorry.
Not to worry, Geralt. Curiosity is a natural reaction under the circumstances, apart from which I've always valued that trait in you.
Exactly. What's regeneration like?
Always fascinated me the way vampires can regenerate. A hand growing back is one thing, but Detloff recreating you out of a wet smear? Something else entirely.
A difficult and laborious process, but one that's possible, as my presence proves. But I've heard you too had quite the adventure. They say you lost your memory.
For a bit, but Triss helped me get it back. Actually, pretty damn lucky I only had amnesia.
Yes, you humans are rather buggered in those terms. To strip you of life is, well, it's just plain easy. I've always pitied you in that regard.
Charming.
We vampires are much harder nuts to crack. If a member of another race kills one of us, we can be reborn with a living high of vampire's help. However, if one of our own strikes the deadly blow, death is permanent. There can be no rebirth. One of the chief reasons why vampires long ago swore never to fight one another.
Interesting. Maybe there's something you want to ask me, something specific?
Alright, give you one question. What do you want to know?
One question to ask one as fascinating as you, Geralt. Cruel parsimony, I'd say, but I shall do my best to make it count. If you were to die and be reborn as I was, in your new life, would you choose to be a witcher?
Oh, very interesting. No, I prefer to be someone else, I think.
That's
Honestly.
what interests you most? Whether I'd like to be a witcher again?
Many things interest me, but we've not much time left. Please answer.
Never chose to be a witcher. Fate chose for me. Had it been my choice, I'd have picked a different profession. A profession where I wouldn't have to risk my life every minute of every day. Maybe even one that had earned me some respect.
Exactly.
Thank you for being honest. Honesty is an attribute of the truly brave, and thus a privilege of the very few.
It's a hard life being
Still
a witcher.
no sign of your
Sure.
winged friend. Sure it understood what you wanted?
Dead certain. Let's wait a bit longer. It'll return soon, don't doubt that for a moment.
What if that hand's crawled away yet and it's from its resting place on that table? Oh. Do we have news of our monsters?
Ever vigilant, even in his sleep. Quite vampire-like, in fact. Are you absolutely certain they don't administer a few of our genes during the trial of the grasses?
Appreciate the compliment.
Appreciate the compliment. Got something for me?
You were right. No kobolds or mamoons for miles around.
Knew it.
Allow me to finish. You see, there's this spotted white. It haunts
There is a spotted
abandoned
white,
residents
okay.
in the Caraberta woods.
Impossible. My brethren hunted down every last spotted white before I was born.
Then it seems you must revise your knowledge of spotted whites. For somehow this one managed to survive your brethren's onslaught. It seems I know this home it haunts. Recall a tale about it. Locals believe the place cursed. Perhaps that's how the White survived entirely unmolested.
What's this about a curse?
Know anything else about this curse?
I don't recall much in particular. Really don't attach much importance to such things. It was mentioned to me as an anecdote, no more.
Come on, search your memory. Something, anything could be important.
I believe it had a relation to hunger, or perhaps greed, rapacity. Someone was punished for something.
Textbook definition of a curse.
Sounds like
pretty
a
much.
curse, yeah.
Sorry, Geralt. I try not to clutter my mind with the details of every far-fetched tale I happen to hear. What are your thoughts?
A specimen of a species thought long extinct, and a curse in one place. That a coincidence, or are they related?
Ah, professional curiosity. Personally, I've nothing against you delving into this dilemma, but please remember we need the White's saliva. Nothing beyond that.
Know anything else about this White?
Whites rarely appear in the woods, even less likely to find them in abandoned human homes. They inhabit remote wildernesses, old abandoned cemeteries.
What's your point?
This might not be a spotted white after all. Your little helper might have made a mistake.
I sincerely doubt it. Ravens are devilishly intelligent creatures, and they've highly developed observational skills.
What exactly did they observe?
The area around the estate, it's covered in spoons.
Spoons?
Spare me the skeptical smile. I'm but the bearer of
Spoons.
this news. Or perhaps this spotted
We
white
did
is
find the note
the
about
spoons are
a
somehow
load of
related to
spoons
the
being
curse.
stolen from a village. There was the one person who was planning to trade the golden spoon for the to get their spoon back. Time to visit
Let's
the
do
White
this.
either way, I suppose.
Start making your decoction while I go get some saliva from that white. Uses it in its brews.
Do you imagine the White will simply sell you some?
Worst case scenario, I'll bring you its salivary glands. They ought to do as well.
For a moment there, I imagined you asking the White to spit into a vial. Quite amusing as a thought. But the salivary
Just
glands
spit
would
into
be
this,
fine.
please, if you don't mind, Mr. White.
So, see you later.
Yes, till later. I shall start by perusing some tomes.
Tomes? Thought you were gonna make this decoction.
We require one last ingredient. Alas, obtaining it could prove a trifle toilsome. Thus, I hope to identify a suitable alternative.
All right. Good luck.
And to you, my friend.
I certainly hope you do, as this is already quite tricky to grab, isn't it? Read the best way to learn more about spotted whites. Okay. So we've got a character entry update on Regis. Geralt and Regis decided that an aid was needed to find Detlef a certain potion called resonance. To brew it, Regis needed some bodily tissue from the object of their pursuit. Luckily, Geralt had earlier found a dismembered hand belonging to the murderer. Another ingredient needed to brew resonance was saliva or salivary glands from a spotted white. Having discovered that one such creature resided nearby, Regis sent the witches to hunt it down. But is it a white? Who knows? Let's actually read the entry, shall we? So, spotted white. Spotted whites were a subspecies of white which the witches drove to extinction. They were larger than their unspotted kin and owed their name to their numerous blotches and effusions. Spotted whites would most often dwell in derelict cemeteries and empty wildernesses, yet at times took to living in abandoned human domiciles. There they would indulge in their greatest passion, creating brews from their own emissions. When not disturbed, spotted whites would not act aggressively. If threatened, however, they became very dangerous indeed. In the colder months, or when faced with an unseasonable chill, they would slip into a state of lethargy, making them easy targets. Even during their active periods, it is said the witches found a surefire way of besting them, based around careful casting of the Iridan sign, or at least so claims Witcher lore. So they're vulnerable to cold, but Igni is one of the things they're vulnerable to. Interesting. Oh well. I guess we'll never know until we try it, right? So for now though guys, we shall end that episode here, so thank you very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed. If you have, then please do like, comment, subscribe and share, and I shall catch you all in the next episode of The Witcher 3. Have a beautiful day guys. Bye bye.